again. Okay, now I'm streaming again. Um, so this is a escalation league. I started for locals. It is they all start off playing neutral decks, and as they play games, they get to swap out cards in them. Uh, they're all working off of the same framework for a deck, but there's 15 cards they could sideboard in or out, customize it for use, and they get to pick. Let me pull up the deck list just so we can see. This is what they all should have worked from. Uh, it's fairly mediocre. Um, Stronghold can be whatever they want. Provinces are all fairly middling. Dynasty and Conflict is all neutral. There are no clan specific cards until you start summoning cards. It's kind of set up to be able to go a bunch of different ways. It'll be interesting to see how that acts. Fourth, I do not know what cards they've uh, switched out. That's up to them. So the first games might be a little bit of a slog as they're playing similar decks, but after a couple rounds, things should get more interesting. Right, so we have a very light buy from Darkmouse, and SirVoltar is going in with 2 boosts and Fate. Buys a second with no Fate because, quite frankly, this is probably the only turn it's going to be useful. Both players bid 5. There are no clocks on this game. They go on for a while. At some point later today, I should be playing my game with Kaseki, which I'll also bring. Be kind of interesting. All right, so we see Earth Conflict going in. That is probably the best ring table given the port state. See Political Conflict, Ben with the Aspiring Challenger. Probably there's a duel that fires off. What do you think? If you're going to probably go for. Ooh, okay. Interesting bid from SirVoltar. It does honor the armament honors in well. But see if for shame get hit, get dropped to take that token away. And comes down in response. There's the counter fan. As far as conflict characters go, this is a political conflict. Kujiro's hireling is and sub in Goblin Sneaks. So Darkmouse may still have 2 conflicts and may shoot for a Void Ring after this conflict. All the Ornate fans in the table on a character that can be assassinated. The bold play. The hireling comes down, and he does have the money to pay to win. Look at that. Here's hireling doing work. Sad part is now he's not going to have. Oh, I guess he can. See a compass come down partisan. That will. It's never political bump, really. But it will also help order some cards. Pass because he's winning. Fine Katana comes down on the guardsman. We're just seeing a bunch of attachments get vomited out here. I don't know if that's necessarily a great play here, since the decks are fairly underpowered for the start, and dumping all your attachments on low fate characters doesn't feel great. There are some bigger characters. I think the Venerable Fortunist or Fortunist is the biggest one. But I think, I really don't know, but at this stage of this tournament series, I'd like to think it's more about repeatable value. So that Fine Katana on the Guardsman is not recurring value. See Earthring Trigger, Spies at Court gets lost. So now the play is probably go Military Water, straighten the Challenger, get a break on. It was real interesting designing decks for this. I tried to include cards for every clan to use. So, Spies at Court helps if you're going to do Scorpion and KB. Unicorn probably in the spot. Ooh, we see hits Rally in the row. So that's going to fire, send the Challenger home, and the Artisan mini potato right now. And all those Ornate fans are there's so little left in the way of Paul Pumps that he's going to bounce here. I can't think of anything in the deck that's going to. There's only. Oh no, there's 3 Ornate fans. So maybe. If Darkmouse has an assassination in hand, though, it is going to be bad news. Receive a no defense. And yeah, if there's an assassinate, I would absolutely drop it here. They'll get favor, which is super critical. I don't believe I included censures in the deck. Oh, no, I did. There's a full set of censures. And SirVoltar's dropped 5 out of the. Dropped a third of his attachments already, so it's event heavy left. So having the favor probably matters a lot more for Darkmouse than it does for SirVoltar. See, bunch of nothing. Fine. One water stance Challenger. Challenger is definitely going to break rally. But if Darkmouse has a sneak, sneak to hit the Void Ring on the Challenger would be really good. And we do see a sneak come down. Military Void. I would go somewhere else. Oh no, he can't risk. Well, I mean, Rally's legitimately probably underbox. We do see the defense forced. Bonsai here would be pretty good. Oh, we see the goblin pick up a sword. Perfect cut is the response. I'll be very curious to get their thoughts after the game. Because I would like to do this on the main Discord as well. Even though we've got Clan Wars. Nah, it's not going to start for another months. But refining this might be a fun way to try some alternative formats. Big old thing happening from Darkmouse. Sure. Apologies for a dog snore in the background. Yeah, I mean, if he's got the Assassinate, that was absolutely the time to play it. And he passes. SirVoltar saying he was surprised he didn't go elsewhere. Do see the Inspiring Challenger get honored. I think Darkmouse couldn't go anywhere else for fear of Rally being well. Oh, he's saying he didn't mean to play the Goblin. I think the Goblin was a fine play. It bought him a turn. Because that Aspiring Challenger was 100% going to break Rally. Darkmouse up a little bit on cards, definitely down on board position. Interesting to see Darkmouse pitches everything. Alright. There's the Palace, the one unique card that everyone gets. Opportunist, his ability is blank right now because they don't have rolls yet. They get to pick their rolls after after this game as part of the escalation to the SirVoltar has the first player token, so we can see what he buys. Opportunist, how pronounce this? Well, they all got 6 monks, I think, in the decks. That way, if someone picked Dragon after the first game, they'd have enough monks to be able to play Hurricane Fists and or Hurricane Punches and or Void Fists. Um, the decks definitely do feel disjointed um, in the first game because I tried to build them to be expandable in any. Um, Oddly enough, those guys are the biggest stat sticks available. I'm hoping SirVoltar realizes that the ability is blank because he doesn't. Darkmouse once again going light. Both players bid 5. This is probably going to be a very grindy game. Um, I think it's going to come down to more so most L5R games resource management. SirVoltar invested very heavily in the first turn and kind of got stymied by the rally being in the. Pardon me. Although signed up for the Escalation League, do have 2 Dragon players. We'll see what they do with these decks and where they take them. Here we're going to see a political conflict. Probably back at Rally. I would probably strongly consider going water just to deny Darkmouse a conflict. They start off with no Goblin Sneaks in the deck. He's already played one first. Kind of surprised there was this much downtime. I would have thought it would have been much more direct in what actions to take. Because right now, the Kajira's hireling can actually do a bunch of work. Probably Twitch telling me when streaming is. Did Jagoku crash? Updated. Oh, apparently he has to start class. He's doing this on the sly. I'm streaming this on the sly. Not like anything matters. Okay. Well, I hope everyone that will end up watching this had a good week. How's your week been, Merlin? You're the only person in chat I can just harass you. Oh, there we go. There's a conflict. Goes for fire. Interesting. Fire does not great. Finds fertile fields though. So that is breaking Palace. So if Rally Pause is in the row, then Nations on Locksmith? SirVoltar cycles two of the cards from his Dynasty deck onto the bottom. Clearly not happy. You see a defend that will stop the break currently. Could be helpful. Card gets on. SirVoltar does have Yojin no Shiro turn sideways just to go break, which it does. No sense in playing a card if you don't need it. Fire feels like such a perfect cut to Kujiro's Hireling. That goes through. Bonza does choose to lose an honor. Either return Bonsai, having some pauses, so I imagine there's a censure. That. Now, the interesting thing about how this escalation league is set up is that if you win your game, you get to swap out 4 cards from your clan, as long as they are non-uniques, on a 1-for-1 basis. If you lose, you get 6 cards instead. The idea for that being to offset the rich get richer thing that most escalation leagues kind of fall into. Oh, that's unfortunate. Darkmouse finds Meditations Running Confidant, goes on Air Ring for money. So losing a game doesn't necessarily mean out, because as the rounds go on, the more games lost, the more of your in-clan cards you have, the less shitty cards you have to play with, like the Cordy or something. So now we're going to see a political conflict with Fortunist, Fortunist. War isn't break things. Rally is probably the place to go. Goes water. I don't like going water, because if he runs into a Temple of Dragons, he's going to get Earth Ringed. Water does not feel like a good. Earth is probably better, unless Darkmouse has drawn his second Goblin Sneak, second entirely. But it still feels like going water is a little. Does go to rally, goes water. Going to rally, that's fine. I don't think Darkmouse is out of it just yet. Both boards are going to evaporate, but he is up on cards. You break. Firing Challenger readies. If I was Darkmouse up, I would, like, even if you have another character, I wouldn't play it. I'd carry some more resources in there. And playing a character here only rewards the choice of going for water. Unlikely that I have the cards to push a break. I have seen Oscar, this is an escalation league that I'm doing for my locals as kind of a test bed. They're all playing neutral decks. They're all neutral. See, the second Kujira's hireling. Interesting. Okay. Um, they are running off the same framework of cards. There's a 15-card sideboard that they can swap out before the first game to kind of customize it a little bit. And they get to pick a stronghold to declare their clan. And as they go through each round, they can add more in-clan cards to the deck, swap out the shittier new so this is the core deck that they have to work with. There's a wide variety of cards. Most of them are okay-ish. The sideboard that they can swap cards out before the first game on a one-to-one basis. So ostensibly we know what each of them is running. Do find Temple of the Dragons, which gets resolved to kill the fate he put on Kujira's hireling. That's a little unfortunate. Hopefully it turns out to be fun. I think once the first round gets done and they start being able to add their clan cards and choose a role, the games will be more interesting. But even like right now, I actually like Darkmouse's position. He's going to start generating a lot of money, Hiroshinjo now. And there is SirVoltar has dumped about a third of the attachments of the deck onto those characters. So his board value is going to be a lot lower moving forward. So he is by no means out of it just yet. There's a whole, let me try to pull it up. Oh, you guys don't Steam page. Interesting. So Voltar drops an Overbondsai to stop a Void Ring. I don't necessarily like that play. So yeah, after this game, they can choose a role, get 2 cards from their clans. After game 2, they can pick a splash clan, or they can start splashing. Game 3, they can change their stronghold. That's primarily for Unicorn, because Unicorn has so few strongholds that would work in this format. Game 4, they can take unique characters, and Game 6, Champions, Daimyos, and Elemental Masters are available for. So hopefully this ends up being fun. Alright, so we do see the Otomo Courtier and Spiteful Gatekeeper. I don't even know what, oh, he just gets bigger. And Seven Truth Seeker. So this could very well be the turn that Darkmouse turns it around. See Cunning Confidant. Insightful in response. Sudden Tempest stops the Water Ring. That feels like an odd choice. You have a good one too, Oscar. I'll be streaming more of these games. Hopefully they're more interesting once we're into further rounds. SirVoltar starts low bidding. He is currently down 2 bonsais out of 3. But so is Darkmouse. Combat tricks wise, Darkmouse has more cards, so that gives him access to more. Looks like try and push. Temple of the Dragons is now a great place to go farming. Did I put court games? I did put court games. But we see a big old push. Nope. Now it's smaller again. Right. Okay, so we see a political poke get defended with Honored Fortuna. I appreciate that. I I try really hard. Yes, yes, I would like to be making cards Berserker. I actually need to take some clippers to the sides of my hair or side of my head because it's gotten a little long to shave because I got super lazy. Okay, we see a court games up. Yep, yep. No, I know how you do. I'm sure if SirVoltar watches the replay, he will understand and expect no less from you. You are here to cheer on his opponent. Card being played in return. Drops his own Kujira's Hireling. Don't know, but I like playing that. Ooh, Outwit to send a fortune home. Spicy. Now there's the comment that that was dumb, because there is a favorable grounds there, which is not inaccurate, but it does force him to spend it, so it's not there for later use. Does have more fate than SirVoltar, so he can shut down the hireling altogether. Because mercenaries work for money. Darkmouse certainly has more money. Chooses not to do that, takes a pass. All void. Certainly big enough to break all the provinces. Finds meditations. Interesting. Okay. Might have been useful to go in with the Fortunist first instead. No defense. We see the courier get burned. Things are still breaking and broken. Military air is the swing back. Relatively safe to go where? Two best rings already off the table. Fence. I don't know that I really like this defense at all. Honor is not going to super matter here. You're up 3 provinces. It would have been better to hit fire into the stronghold. See if it was a Temple of the Dragons. I mean, it's got to be Temple of the Dragons, right? Because it can't be public forum. So just take the hit now. Because whatever ring you attack next turn is actually going to have some kind of utility here in the conflict. Except void. Oh, there's Kujiro's hireling comes down. So he's going to get the fire ring. I mean, if he thought about it, he'd know what it was, so it can't be public forum. There's no point. Oh, I'm going to try and push for a break.